At any given time, yeah, there are dozens of projects going on concurrently. And I mean, it's a big organization, and it runs maybe $4 million a year right now, so you ought to be able to do a lot of different projects simultaneously. There may be some opportunities for us to have more older and more experienced and knowledgeable students around. You can get more results from such students, and it may actually help the industry partners to work with students that are a little farther along. Maybe even the industry partners would like to send some of their employees into MIT to get some additional coursework, even degrees. And I think that's something that we could start to deliver. Typically, if we do a project, we'll have to have a local university partner. Just as an example, we're running a study of wheelchairs in Indonesia, and we have a local university partner, and the government would really require that we go through their human subjects protocols. I mean, we'll have our experiments approved by MIT's thing called CUIs, but we need to have a local one also just to be fully safe. So we're building a suite of sensors and data loggers that we can install onto wheelchairs and cook stoves and lanterns, a whole suite of things. And growing out of that effort is a company called Sensen, which is just our effort at generalizing what we've learned about installing sensors into products in the developing world. What are the challenges of managing the power source so that you get a good life? What are the things you can do on board so that you don't have to log all the data, but just process it a little bit and save the good bits? And well, are there sometimes opportunities to just load the data up while it's in the field? Like maybe send an SMS and put it on the cloud. Or in some cases, should we just log it and then go visit the product again? So those are some things that we're becoming pretty knowledgeable about, and this company will help to bring those technologies and that knowledge to other people that want to do experiments in the developing world. So I think that D-Lab's overall staff size and the amount of funding that we run, and also the impacts that D-Lab has been able to have, changed pretty dramatically over the past several years, partly because of our engagement with USAID. So that organization, which is part of the US State Department, they have had a long tradition of making investments that would help to alleviate poverty. But they have not been much engaged with universities over time, because the funding that they spend should go into the developing world, not into universities. But some years ago, they decided that it might make sense to spend a fraction with universities to understand development processes better. So they established this thing called the Higher Education Solution Network, and several universities across the US and in Africa got grants to focus on different things. At MIT, we focused on, for example, technology evaluation, and we got another grant that focused on local capacity building, creative capacity building and training. But there were others that were focused on things like armed conflict or how to manage data coming out of interventions. So we've learned a lot by interacting with those partners.